So, uh, one of the funniest things that I read about the new album is something that says the Swedes wish they were living in 1983. So,
Who
well,
the fuck said so? I also read that many times. You know that it's nothing that pisses me off as much as hearing these people saying, "Oh, it's like a worship 80s worship band." You know, I just
yeah,
want to before we start, I'm just gonna say how incredibly much that pisses me off and how much that shows that the persons who write kind of shit doesn't have any idea about metal whatsoever, and then can go back and listen to their Bullet for My Valentine, In Flames shit that we piss on, you know.
yeah, exactly. That's why I say it was really
Yeah.
funny that I read that, and it shocks me as well. Well,
Yeah,
let's
I'm sort of, I had bigger expectations on people, you know. It's just like
yeah.
hearing this bullshit all the time, you know, just makes me frustrated to see how little knowledge people have about metal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, man, you say that you want to continue the path that begins with Dead by Fire, your the album. So, what exactly did you mean with that? Is music-wise that you want to follow the path with that album?
Both music lyrically and attitude wise. I think we were, after much struggle in the beginning of the career, we sort of, I thought we felt that we sort of was reborn with Death by Fire when we finally could self-define our sound, stop looking for our sound, you know, just this is us. And you know, that's sort of the actual feeling of that you have something that's your own, and also that's the moment when you feel that you can develop this and take it into new realms.
Right. Regarding the lyrics, you say that you find yourself like a more mature band that in the beginning you start to write songs about your youth fantasies, and now maybe you realize something else. So, do you see Enforcer as a different band now that from the first album?
Both yes and no. We have the same attitude as we always have, to be the most real metal band on the planet and to, you know, be the saviors of the metal. You know,
Yeah,
but as a band, of course, you develop all the time. You develop as a songwriter, as a lyric writer, as an album composer, or sound producer, or whatever you call it. You know, and you sort of set new goals all the time. So it's developing. It's very developing, and I would say that we are a very different band compared to the beginning. At the same time as we still hold on to all these important attitudes that we had in the beginning, and that any metal band should have.
yeah, totally. Well, man, these 10 songs were produced, mixed, and mastered by you guys. So it's something that you don't trust in someone from outside the band, or you are just fine doing all by yourselves?
You know that this we don't do this for to save energy or save time or save money. You know, it's a huge fucking job to do this all the way we want. We do it, one, to get to be in control over everything, to have everything the way we want, and secondly, because there's no other sound producer in the world who can recreate a good sound that suits Enforcer.
Yeah,
You know, I personally I haven't heard a good sounding record in 25 years. You know that it's completely gone. You know the knowledge of music production.
yeah.
It's a lost cause. So we are also working hard to bringing back, you know, atmosphere into atmosphere and dynamics back into the music business. So as far as I know, we are the only ones doing that.
All right, great. Well, man, if you have to, well, do you think that there are other bands in Europe that are on the same league as Enforcer? Like bands that you can relate to that are playing now, not bands that existed before that. Bands that are active now. Do you see yourselves in some sort of league with other bands?
Both yes and no. We can share some attitudes with a couple of bands, and we might have some musical similarities to other bands, but as a whole, I think that not really. Uh, to be honest, I don't really listen to many new bands.
Yeah,
I think too many of the new heavy metal bands in the world right now, for example, are too stuck up. Playing too much from the book, with losing every aspect of creativity and doing something new. I mean, people are accusing us all the time for not creating something new, but I would say that we are inspired by certain type of music, but we always try to push things further and further all the time. Most new bands don't really have that. They're still sort of stuck copying their influences too much, and that doesn't really interest me. You got a couple of cool bands from Spain, though, that I need to mention, like Iron Curtain and Hitten, that really impressed me.
yeah, yeah. They're cool bands.
And they're really good guys, and they're like, you know,
Yeah.
both of them. We've been in touch since a very early stage of each other's existence.
Great. Well, no, on this album, I think the result is top class. I really enjoy the album. But if I notice something special on it, if I hear the other three albums, is the vocals. Did you put some effort to put the vocals on front this time? Because I really noticed that the
I
this
think
is
I mean, we since main thing about the vocals is that I am completely self-taught. Nobody is, I never took any lessons or any shit like that. It's just like, so the only answer here is practice. We've done fucking 150 shows since last album. I would say that that's better practice than anything else. So
yeah. Great. So for you, Olaf, what is the greatest achievement that you think that you got with this new album from Beyond? What is the thing that makes you more proud about releasing this album?
the achievement is that I see it. What I'm most proud of is the fact that we've actually managed to release 4 fucking albums in 8 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's that's something that I would never expect. But the achievement in From Beyond itself is that we actually, I think as far as I see it, is that we sort of pulled the entire heavy metal genre forward with this album, as far as I can see it.
Yeah.
We didn't want to get stuck up too much with, limiting ourselves with only playing heavy metal. We took heavy metal to something new without really, we didn't. I can't say that we borderline thrash metal or anything, but either way, we pushed it further into something else that I'm really happy about.
All right. Okay. So for some bands, it's not only about the music, but also about the image of the band, how the band looks itself. So, what do you think about Enforcer? Do you have that in consideration, or it's just about the music?
Well, it's mostly about the music, of course, but as far as I can see it, we have no image. This is just how we
How you
are.
are? Yes.
So it's no intentional image of the band. It's just like it's not like that we've come up with, hey, you should wear these kind of clothes and this and that. This is just all natural to us. But of course, fashion, whatever style or whatever you call it, it's of course important for
Yeah.
every band. Who the fuck wants to go and see a show where like a fat bum plays on stage? Is you gotta being on stage, being on picture, you gotta that's just what I want to see. I don't want to see. I want to see people taking things to the fucking limit all the time. When I go and see a band, that's very important for me to also be that person who can take things, push the limits in all ways, not only musical but also style wise and aesthetical wise, and in all senses.
Yeah, yeah, good answer. Okay, well, just to finish the interview, when you release an album, there's always people telling you how great the album is and all sort of things. But the album being out now for a couple of days, did you get any negative feedback from it yet?
Yeah, you always get negative feedback online on YouTube and shit like that. But people are